What up, awesome viewers? RioGion here. So, the Fold 5. The Fold 5 is a great foldable phone if you do not have a foldable. So, if you do not have a foldable, that's fantastic. Like this Fold 5 is going to be a great phone. But if you have anything Fold 3 or above, that's a different story. So, let's talk about the other camp first. Let's talk about if you do not have a foldable. If you do not have a foldable, the Fold 5 is great. Here's why. You get the hinge that has it's flat now. Instead of there's like a water drop hinge, so it's flat, which is great. Unlike this one, I have a case on it, but it's not flat. So, let me see. So, if you do have the older phones, which I do, when you fold it, it's not fully flat. Let me see if I can show that to you. Okay. This is harder than I think it is. Take off the case. But nevertheless, alright. It is done. Okay. See how that's I guess don't mind the stickers, but yeah, if you can see see how you can see part of me. There's that little line that's ever present. Yeah, okay, there we go. I think that probably makes my point. So we have that. But with the Fold 5, you won't have that problem because it's gonna fold all the way flat, which is great. But if you're coming from any foldable, probably not worth it because that's not that big of a jump. So there's that. The body's fine. It's going to look like this. So if you like how this looks, then you like with the Fold 5. If you already have the Fold 3, that's going to be the same. Or Fold 4, it's going to be very same. For if you have a Fold 4, that's very the same for you. Yeah. Chipset 8 Gen 2, so should be pretty good. Should be pretty good in terms of specs and battery life. Should be. Is it? Probably is. Price is the same, and there's one terabyte. So you should, if you are a emulation gamer, you should get the 1 terabyte, because if you do that, most likely you'll thank me later. If you don't, most likely you're gonna kick yourself in the foot. Why? Because if you want to use the foldable to play emulators, which is a great idea by the way, because you have a really big screen, you need to get a terabyte, because 512 can be too little. 1 terabyte is the sweet spot, especially if you want to move up to like PS2, GameCube. I think eventually you get the Switch, Vita 3K, PS Vita is going to get stronger. So I think 1 terabyte would be a lot better than having anything less than that, to be honest. So that's what I feel if you were to use the Fold as an emulation device. So if you do not use the Fold as an emulation device, I think 512 is good because it's safer than 256, just in case if maybe you take too many videos or too many photos or a lot of music, or you store something that's not ROMs, then 512 should be better. Movies take up a lot of space, so if you watch a lot of movies on your foldable, which that makes absolute sense by the way, because you have a nice large screen, so I would say yes, 512 is the way to go. But if you play emulators, get the 1 terabyte. Do that one. So, battery life, 4,400 milliamp. I think it's probably gonna be better. Is it gonna be much better? Is it night and day? Probably not, because it's the same size. It's the same size from this phone. It's the Fold 3. It's the same battery size, so it's. However, the software is going to make it better. However much. But I do feel like we should have a bigger battery. I really feel like we should. But there's that. Let me see what else. Oh, S Pen. They made it a lot smaller instead of this chunky one here. So this is the chunky one that I have right here. However, yeah, there you go. So this one for me, because of the case, I have it on the side like this. So, which I honestly think is a great idea, because having this on the side makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. So then this way you can use wireless charging. I don't think mine works for wireless charging because it needs to make room for the stand. However small the stand is. So there's that. I think that's pretty much it. In terms of software support, yeah, you get 5 years, right, or 4 years of software support, which is great. But just in case you didn't know, you still have software support on this one. This is a Fold 3. You still have software support. I still get updates. I still get new Android versions. So that's a Fold 3. So there's also this other camp too. Actually, it's as if you want a foldable, but you don't want to spend a lot of money. That's a good camp. Okay, so this is 512. The maximum size for the Fold 3 is 512. The Fold 4, I think you also have a terabyte with that one. Price, don't remember, but I'll link it down below. So if you happen to pick up those ones through my link, support me at the same time, no extra cost to you. Thank you. And that is a very good camp to be in, actually. Now that I think about it, that's a really good camp to be in, because you want a foldable. Trade in. What are you trading in? Because that might matter. Check the website. I'm not affiliated, so I'm not gonna put down a link because it doesn't make sense for me. But check the website. See what phone you have, and then see what the trade-in offer is. So then you can kind of weigh, okay, should I just get the last gen phone for cheap, or should I do a trade-in and get the newer product now? That's also there. So there's also that, which is a pretty good camp too. The last camp, which is, no, that's not the last camp. No, that's the first camp. Is if you already have a foldable and you want the Fold 5, more power to you. I mean, the trade-ins are pretty good. The Fold 3 can do 800 bucks. Depends on how much you bought it for the Fold 3. Did you buy it for 500? If you did, yeah, you'll gain 300 bucks. That's pretty good. If you bought it for 2,000 bucks, you lose 1,200 bucks. That's pretty bad. Fold 4 depends on how much you bought it. Did you buy it for cheap? 800 bucks? Maybe around there. I don't know. Maybe 800. Has the Fold 4 ever been 800? If that's the case, you broke even. That's not too bad. You broke even. Wait, hang on. I think the Fold 4 trade value is $1,000. I think so. I don't know. Don't quote me. So you might win $200. If you bought a used, if you bought it new, that's $2,000. You lose $1,000. You had it for a year. $1,000 for a year. I don't know, but maybe you do. So comment down below. So yeah, there's that. I can't really see a viable option if you already have a foldable, because and especially if you have like a Chinese foldable too. If you have like a Xiaomi Fold Mix Fold 2 or a Techno Phantom or Honor Magic VS2, maybe, if that's out by now, I'm not even sure. I mean, hardware wise, you just have a better hardware phone. Software wise, it depends. Where do you live? Do you live in China? Do you live in the US? So, software wise, really depends on where you live. That's what I feel like. Yeah. So, I can't see a scenario where you're in the camp that has a foldable but wants a Fold 5. Like, what are your real tangible benefits? I don't see that. But if you never had a foldable, I honestly see that it's going to be a pretty good jump, because you're going from a phone that doesn't fold to a phone that folds. That's a pretty good jump. Unless your phone has a micro SD card slot and a headphone jack, and then you move over to a Fold and you're like, I don't have those features anymore. That kind of sucks. But you gain a folding mechanism, which does break down. I mean, everything breaks down, but faster, you know, breaks down faster. So there's that. If you're an emulation gamer and your phone has a micro SD card slot and a headphone jack, if I were you, I personally would not do it. I don't think it's worth it. But if you have a regular phone, a regular modern phone that doesn't have any of those legacy features, then okay, good to go. Let's do that. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for the video. I mean, I'm on 13 minutes already, so I feel like anything else is just getting to the 16-minute mark and then the camera shuts off again, so let's not go there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thoughts and feelings of the Fold 5. That's what I feel like. If you have a foldable, meh, probably not. Wait for something like a bigger jump, like a really big jump. If you already have a foldable. If you don't have a foldable, yeah. Unless your phone has a micro SD card and a headphone jack, meh, probably not. If you want to get a foldable for cheap, I'll link the Fold 3 and the Fold 4 down below. So check them out. That's pretty much it. New to the channel, click subscribe, thumbs up, bell, comments, more content. You guys stay awesome.